everyone, welcome to our today's program, Touch of China. I'm Yang Nan. When people think of Beijing, the first thing that came to their mind no more than the Great Wall. Exactly, Great Wall remains the symbol of Chinese nation and its culture. In our today's program, Touch of China, we're going to touch the Great Wall and its surrounding areas. Our first stop will be in the 村底下. What's inside in this area? Let's take a look.
Okay, so here in 村底下, you will see this character extremely often scattered around the village. Now, 村底下 stands for under the stove, and the first character is the stove character, which you can see here. Now, that's the literal translation, and you should never really literally translate anything, because in Chinese, the character is extremely meaningful. We have 4 characters within the one character. Now, this is testing my own research, and please don't call me up on this, but we do have fire here, 火, which is surrounded by a big fire, 大火, and that's above that we can find a forest or wood in lin. So we have fire with a forest, and above that, 兴, meaning sort of thriving. So the whole of the character it has a very good Chinese meaning of prosperity, so that there's prosperity across the village. So much better meaning in Chinese.
Chuandisha boasts some of the best preserved Seheyuan, or courtyard houses, in the Beijing area. It was opened to tourism in 1997. Steeped in a history of over 500 years, it was blissfully relaxing to wake up early and walk around this historic village completely undisturbed. It really has the feel of a place that is completely untouched by time. You can lose yourself amongst the narrow alleyways that snake their way around this hillside hamlet.
你好，你从哪里来的吗？
我是从北京市里面过来。
啊，是吗？你常常来这画吗？
对，我已经来了好多天了。
The area is a magnet for artists, poets, and period drama camera crews. The look and feel of the village is ideal for imbuing artists and poets with the inspiration to pen or paint some creative magic. This in turn works for the TV and film industry, who don't need to fork out major sums of money on designing expensive traditional Chinese sets, when the entire village is, in itself, already preserved just as they want it. Even some Chinese blockbusters such as Warlords, starring Jet Li and Andy Lau, have used this tiny hamlet as a setting for their film. I thoroughly recommend spending the night in Chuandisha. You won't find any 5-star hotels here, but the local food is great, the people are friendly, and with most lodgings offering basic accommodation at around 15 RMB per night, you'd be hard-pressed to find better value for money for such a unique, one-off experience.
So how do you feel in Beijing? Many international visitors who have been visited Beijing say that Olympic Games was not only reason they touched Beijing, but they came here for once in a lifetime to touch the Great Wall with thousands of years history.
With your belly full, your head a little light from the dozens of beers, and safe in the knowledge that Rainbow Trout Valley has enhanced your reputation as a modern-day Romeo, you have to head to the Great Wall. Much like taking in the Ming tombs after Chuandisha, you do need to mix up the hidden treasures with the more famous sites. And this one you don't, and quite literally won't be able to miss. It's my favourite in and around Beijing, and it really is China's mandatory must-see site. With a history of over 2,000 years, in its heyday it was guarded by more than 1 million men. It's been estimated that somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 million people died as part of the project of building the wall. The closest section of the Great Wall to Rainbow Trout Valley is Mutianyu, situated roughly 70 kilometers northeast of Beijing. It's one of the best preserved parts of the Great Wall, and one that I find is the most friendly for all ages. By this, I mean that there is a cable car to take you up and down, if you're feeling a tad unfit, as well as a toboggan down to keep the younger generations happy. You could of course bypass any of these and make your own way up and down on foot if you're feeling slightly more adventurous.
It's pretty tiring just walking up here. Make sure you bring lots of water with you. Oh, what a sight.
I really like the Great Wall.
Yeah? How great is the Great Wall, would you say?
The Great Wall.
Is it great? Is it great?
It's very great.
Yeah.
It's a very great wall.
Well, the greatest part so far has definitely been the cable car, though, for these guys. So
Yeah, the cable car coming up the Great Wall was exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, how do you feel about coming to the Great Wall?
I feel very good. It's enough fresh air. It's different from Cambodia, and visiting the wall, which is a child dream.
Childhood dream.
Accomplishing today.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Mutianyu is also famous for having crenulated parapets on both sides of the wall, so that shots could be fired at the enemy, keeping people at bay on all sides. There are two different gradients of the wall, depending on which part you decide to take on. If you enjoy a good sweat, take the right side out of the cable car, and you can work those calf muscles up the steeper part of Mutianyu. For a more relaxed climb, head left. You'll still be able to sleep soundly that night, but without so much need to shower when you get home. To get there, take number 916 or number 936 bus at Dongzhimen Gate, get off at Huairou Longshan Hotel, and take a minibus to the wall.
So I'm here at the Da Jiao Lo, which literally means big corner building. It would have meant the end of one of the army zones, but it also happens to be the end of the repaired section of Mutianyu at the Great Wall. Now, as a tourist, I'm not allowed to go past into the unrepaired section, but I'll just hang in the doorway and have a look.
If you'd prefer to feel as though you've got the Great Wall all to yourself, head to Simitai. It's situated 120 kilometers northeast of Beijing. Hanging precariously onto Yanshan Mountain, it is known for its steepness, ingenuity, and uniqueness. It really is a totally different experience to Mutianyu. More serene, but also much harder work. Not for the lazy. I pride myself on being a good sleeper and needing lots of it. But visiting a place such as Simitai, the earlier you get up, the better. Strolling along this part of the Great Wall before the rest of the world is awake was truly an incredible experience for me. Surrounded by early morning mist, with only your thoughts as company, you feel so much closer to nature and are overpowered by the magnificence of this wonderful structure. I can only imagine what it would be like during the winter snow. Despite being a fair distance from Beijing, I thoroughly recommend sleeping over at Simitai so you can enjoy the sunrise and sunset here.
I really hope you've been enjoying a tiny part of this wonderful city has to offer, from the traditional quiet courtyard to the Great Wall. Welcome to Beijing, welcome to China. If you have any comments or suggestions for our program, please do get in touch with us. I'm Yang Nan. See you next time.